Hey, I'm Matt.
Hey, I'm Samir.
And this is MBS News.
So today we're talking about imperialism. What is that, Matt?
Yes, Samir. Well, imperialism is one country's domination of the political, economic, and or social life of another country.
Very interesting. Well, here are some reasons for economic imperialism.
Raw materials for industrial revolution, trade, cheap labor, and new markets.
How about political imperialism?
Nationalism, pride and prestige, national security, and border protection, military bases, and source of troops.
And how about social imperialism?
Missionary spread of Christianity, social Darwinism, survival of the fittest applied to society, European society, spread of cultural values, racism and cultural superiority, and the white man's burden. Now tell me about the white man's burden, Samir.
The white man's burden is the duty to civilize non-whites.
Now off to Brian in Malaysia to talk about the colonizers of Southeast Asia. What's up, Brian?
Thanks, Matt. The colonizers of Southeast Asia were various. We have the Dutch who colonized the East Indies, we have Spain and the US who colonized the Philippines, the French who colonized Indochina, and the British who colonized Burma and right here in Malaysia. The one that remained independent was Thailand. I'm Brian Corcoran reporting in Malaysia, and this is MBS News. Back to you, Matt and Samir.
Thank you, Brian, for that great lesson on colonizers of Southeast Asia.
Yes, anywho, now we're going back to be talking about the motives for imperialism in Southeast Asia. Please tell me more about this, Matt.
Well, there are three motives: economic, social, and political. For economic, it was mostly raw materials: spices, tin, rubber, rice, copper, and now
don't forget hardwood trees.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Now, Samir, tell me about the social motive.
For social, it was mainly about the white man's burden, missionary, and social Darwinism. Now please tell me about the last one, Matt, political.
Political only had one main motive, and it was the military.
Very interesting. Now we'll be right back up to talk about the conflict of imperialism in Southeast Asia right after this short break.
And they hate your shiny new boots. They hate your boots because they wish they were in them.
Hello, welcome back to MBS News. And now we're going to be talking about religion, superiority complex, and Southeast Asia. Please give me some information about this, Samir.
Of course, Matt. Europeans who were mostly Christian quickly came to thinking, after spending time with citizens of other countries, that they were superior to these people due to their religion and more civilized.
This led to many European travelers to thrust upon themselves to what later called the white man's burden, using their apparently superior frame of mind to educate the citizens of other nations on their ways of life, as well as in Christianity.
Now, Matt, tell me about the conflicts of imperialism in Southeast Asia.
Dutch imperialism in Indonesia occurred when the late 1700s Dutch East India Company controlled in the 3,000-mile-long Indonesia island chain, competing with Portugal. These islands were perfect for plantations. In the late 1800s, the discovery of oil in the region caused the Netherlands to take control of the islands. The Dutch and East India colonies, the Dutch used direct method of governing islands to include rigid class system and cash crops.
British imperialism in Southeast Asia. To compete with the Dutch, the British colonized Singapore, Malaysia, and Burma. British needed a port in Singapore plus tin and rubber for the Suez Canal to encourage Chinese to migrate to Southeast Asia, causing cultural tensions.
French imperialism in the mid-1800s, France sent missionaries to Southeast Asia to convert Asians to Christianity. Anti-Christian Vietnamese emperor accused of killing 7 missionaries. Napoleon III invaded southern Vietnam, wanting the vast resources of France, colonizing the whole region. Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, which would form the French Indochina.
Siam remained independent as its neighbors fell to imperialism. Siam/Thailand remained independent. King Mongkut began promoting the fact that Siam could be a buffer between French and British colonies. Mongkut began reforming and industrializing Siam.
Impact of Southeast Asian imperialism. Schools plus health, roads, cash crops, racism, religious conflicts, impact of Southeast Asian imperialism. Now off to Brian to talk about more conflicts. What's up, Brian?
First off, Dutch East Indies natives tell Dutch were using them as forced labor to benefit European economies. The Ponegoro-led revolt against Dutch that ended in failure. For Philippines worked for low wages to benefit Europeans. Emilio Aguinaldo led a revolt against Spanish, and then U.S. promised to free Philippines in return for help against Spanish and Spanish-American War. Finally, French Indochina Ho Chi Minh led a revolt after Japanese occupation World War II resulted in conflict with the French, then the U.S. I'm Brian Corcoran, MBS News. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Brian. Unfortunately, folks, this newscast is over. Thank you all for tuning in for this great lesson on imperialism in Southeast Asia. I'm Ould-Sfiya reporting to you from MBS News. Have a good night, everyone, and see you tomorrow.
Imperialism is a policy of extending countries' powers through the influence of the... Oh my god. Alright. Yes, Samir. Indigo or spices. Natural resources. Expansion of Christianity.
Kai, what's the matter with you? What? No, not yet.
No, not yet.
What's the matter with you?
Alright. Hey, I'm Matt.
Not yet. Oh. Go.
Hey, I'm Matt.
Hey, I'm Samir.
And this is the MBS News. You gotta get that, dude.
Let's do it together.
Cultural superiority in the white man's burden. Now tell me about the white man's burden, Samir. Samir.
Alright. The white man's burden is the duty to civilize non-whites.
Now to Brian in Malaysia to talk about Southeast Asia. What's up, Brian?
Stop laughing, Brian.
Hello, welcome back to MBS News. And now we're going to be talking about religion and superiority complex in Southeast Asia. Please give me some information about this, Samir.
Of course, Matt. Europeans who were mostly Christian quickly came to thinking after spending Brian.
Alright.
Keep it going.
Yeah, just like redo that part, cause just go up to the top of that sentence, yeah. Alright, Brian. What are you even laughing about?
You could.
Brian's head keeps moving. Stop. It's making me laugh if your head moves like that.
Alright, start.
That
I
was
have
pretty
to
good.
reach
Stop.
all
No,
the
you
way
don't have to redo it, just press.
Just quick start. That was pretty good one too. I actually like that one.
National security and border protection, military bases, and source of troops.
Wait. We're gonna be looking up and the camera's down there.
Oh my god, can you just, it doesn't matter. Okay, Samir, can you stop?